number 6. A week after coming back from spring break, we made a decision we weren't going to start all over. We were going to pick up right where we left off. And by practice 6 now you start understanding a little bit what you're trying to get accomplished in practice. You work together as a staff with the players, using the field certain ways, drill work, unit work, 1-on-1, 5-on-4, 7-on-7 work, and then offense versus defense as well as special teams. So there's improvement. We still have long ways to go. We're trying to close that gap every single day. But the consistency is the most important part. Consistency in physicality, consistency in execution, consistency in toughness, all things that go with being a good football team. Questions, please.
Coaches Clinic, the first one you've had here. I know getting a bond with high school coaches is super important, and also giving back to the community. So talk about both those, how they go hand in hand, and how important it is to have these high school coaches on board with the Miami program.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, first and foremost, you want to be able to build trust with people and confidence. And the only way someone can trust you is if they know you. Only way they can know you if you spend time with them, if you invest time in them. So for us, we want to make sure that we invest in them and their programs, help their programs get better. If we can provide a drill, if we could provide a format, if we could provide a regimen, whether it be strength and conditioning, a couple wise words from a Sean McVay or a Jimmy Johnson, all this stuff is really important. I love going to clinics. I go to clinics all over the place all the time, and I love it, and it was very interactive. We had Darren Rizzi out here demonstrating special teams drills, how to tackle, how to set up blocks, angles, leverage, half position. So those things go a long way, and then we get to spend time with them because I think when we had our junior day, we only had maybe a couple staff members hired. Now we have a full staff, so people are starting to get to know the Miami Hurricanes. And I remember playing here, one of the best parts was practicing on Saturday. There used to be a boatload of people here on the sideline. Usually you find yourself a Boom Boom Mancini or a marvelous Marvin Hagler out here too, right? You always used to find, some really just awesome people and a lot of energy, and it felt like that today. And our players got some wise words at the end of practice from Sean McVay that really hit home. So productive day, long ways to go, a lot of work to do, but improvement.
Just with Sean, your connection with him, and to get him here for this, can you relay maybe some of the message that he gave today?
Well, those are kind of private messages, you know what I mean? But it's just, man, what an impressive guy. I mean, I don't think people realize when he got to the Rams, they had the lowest rated offense in the NFL. 1 year later, they were the best. The youngest got to be a coach and the NFL head coach, and the youngest got to win a Super Bowl. But it's not that. I mean, his impact on people, the way and his presence, right? His messaging. I mean, he felt there was some real special stuff going out there, and had a chance to speak after, and look forward to getting together with a guy like that again. When you, when you form a relationship with guys like that, especially there in the NFL, we're in college, there's no crossover, right? You can get together and learn a lot. We look forward to learning a lot from him. We all always learn a lot from Coach Johnson. Coach Orgeron did an awesome job. Darren Rizzi was spectacular, teaching special teams this morning. So all in all, just a lot accomplished. But again, consistency. We got to keep pushing this thing. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's got to be on the gas, and we got to go. We got a ways to go.
And Will Mallory got hurt a few days ago. What are the details on that injury? What's kind of the outlook for that?
Well, we're never going to get details on injuries. What we'll say is that when we play this season, he'll be playing with us. Some injuries are more severe than others. I just don't think it's fair to get into details with that kind of stuff about our players. I'll do the best I can to provide information, and hopefully I can provide as much as I can. But if there's something to hold back, I would respectfully ask you please respect your privacy, because it is a personal matter.
Coach, how much have you tried to integrate the running game this spring so far in the practices? I know your teams have ran the ball a little bit more in the past than last year's team did in passing game.
One more time.
So how do you explain, or how are you trying to integrate the running game so far as far as what you've seen individually or going into this season? I know the team last year seemed to throw the ball a little bit more.
Last year's team definitely threw the ball more than they ran the ball. When we install everything at probably a 50 clip, 55, 45 clip. The RPO skews it one way or the other. So, we like what we see. We've run inside, outside zone, counter, power, stretch, 2 surface, 3-man surface, 4-man surface, pin and pull, speed sweep. You name it, we've run it. Quarterback runs as well. And we've also, we've stretched the field. We've gone empty. We've gone loaded sets, snug sets. We've installed a lot in 6 practices, and we're going to keep throwing more at them. want to get a good feel for what we're good at. You know, we want to affect the edges. There's a lot of good edge players in our conference. We want to be able to affect them with our tackles, our tight ends, our running backs, sometimes with snug set receiver alignments. You know, we want to be able to, you know, take advantage of having great quarterbacks, you know, and guys that can get down the field and stretch the field a little bit. That tight end core has had a spectacular spring, all of them. So a lot to do, and that's why these practices go as long as they possibly can, because we have a lot to see.
We're gonna
Did
know.
you get
Very
your-
much, Coach.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Did you get a chance to watch the basketball game last night? And what do you think about their run so far?
Man, it's incredible. You know, the whole world's better when Miami's kicking ass. You know, that's all what it is. You know, and Coach L, man, what can you say about him and all those players? I mean, I don't know. I've never been and seen a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 in person, but I gotta imagine just watching it through the screen, the juicy energy is incredible. You know, and it affects everybody, right? It affects our players. Our players are talking about it nonstop. I mean, it brings everybody together. So super happy for those guys. Proud to be a member of this university. Always proud to be a Cane, and looking forward to them maintaining and keeping that streak going.
Is he a coach you try to learn from too, Coach L?
I learn from everybody, man. His experience, his success, without a doubt. You know, there's no time to watch them practice. When I was at Oregon, I used to go all the time and watch Kelly Graves, Dana Altman practice. I love watching coaches teach. You always pick up something. I love watching these guys clinic. Even our own coaches, you know, we have our own self clinics all the time, and you always pick up something that can help you get a little bit better. So it's good stuff.
Coach, where do you think you made the biggest strides from practice 1 to 6? What areas do you feel you made the biggest strides in practice?
I think we improved some in physicality, but we got to be a much more physical football team. You know, playing with our pads down, our feet in the ground, and bending at our knees, coming out of our hips. You're going to hear me say that every day until I'm blue in the face, because it's critical. But understanding leverage, right? Where is your help on defense, right? To be able to leverage the ball. On offense, what's the intent of the play so you can create leverage? Those things, you know, playing football, understanding situational football are two things that really stick out. And then just consistency and intensity. There's no scaling back, man. It just doesn't happen. There's no scaling back for study hall. There's no scaling back for class attendance for being early on everything. There's no scaling back for the strength and conditioning workouts. Miami's good, so Miami works their butts off. And we got to work. That's the bottom line.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, guys, thank you.